Hey guys, it's Azapatos. Today we are not going to be playing Rocket League. We're going to be talking about um, the fact that I'm retiring from competitive play and maybe content creation. If you're here just to find out how this is going to impact my channel and stuff like that, stay for a couple of minutes. I'll be talking about that. Everything past those few minutes will be just a bunch of random stuff. Yeah, so I'm going to stop playing competitively. That means different things to different people. For me, it means I'll still be playing in some tournaments here and there, but for the most part, I'm no longer playing every single day trying to improve and go pro. For example, I'll be playing in like collegiate tournaments whenever I'm needed. I think I'll be playing in LCS ones every year, but like I won't be that good because I just won't be playing the game until then. I still want to do YouTube, but I just have different priorities in life now, and I don't know if I'll have. I mean, I'm sure I'll have the time to do YouTube. It doesn't take that much effort or time to record, but it's just the motivation. I'm lacking motivation to play the game in general, so it's pretty difficult to hop on the game sometimes to record. But I do want to record. I just don't want to play the game. You know, like I want to play the game, but I just don't want to play the game. This might seem a bit contradictory, but I'm actually making a second YouTube channel. It'll be like still gaming related. It's just things that I'll find more fun than Rocket League. The link will be in the description if you want to help me out and subscribe. Also, I've always wanted to pursue music production, and now that I have more time because I've quit Rocket League, I'm kind of starting to, get into music production. If you want to follow my SoundCloud to see what I'm up to, it's in the description as well. For the rest of the video, I'm going to be talking about 7 different things. The reasons why I'm quitting, why I can't or shouldn't go pro, why I didn't go pro, how Rocket League has impacted me throughout my career positively and negatively, my feelings after quitting, my advice to others trying to go pro, and special thanks. So the first bullet point I have here, I need notes. There's so much to talk about. Reasons to quit the game. So first of all, I'm in college studying physics. It's not easy. To put it simply, I need to spend a lot of time studying and just doing other things with my life. Like college is like going to a 4-year institution, like San Diego State it's pretty fun. There's a lot of stuff to do, a lot of people to meet, and I'm really lucky that my family is able to support me financially in going there. Because of Rocket League, I've already missed a year and a half of lots of formative experiences and opportunities to meet new people. Because every day I would go to school, like I would go to class, and I would come back directly to my dorm, play Rocket League for 5 hours, do my homework, and go to sleep. Like that's all my life was. So I missed out on a lot already. Not only would quitting Rocket League give me the chance to socialize more and have more fun, but it also gives me more time to study for classes. Because I was doing the bare minimum in my classes. Well, that's not exactly true. I would do the bare minimum required to get A's and B's, but like I could totally get A's if I like dedicated myself to my studying a lot more. It's kind of backwards how I was prioritizing Rocket League over school. I mean, it wasn't a clear priority, like Rocket League over school. It was just like I weighed both equally, and school is supposed to set me up for my future. I'm like, what is Rocket League doing for me? Like I'll just quit eventually. I'll gain nothing from it long term. So it's just I have a shift of priorities here, and I think it makes sense. Anyways, yeah. So social life, studying, those are important. I have other hobbies, other interests that I've wanted to get into, but haven't been able to because of Rocket League. Like I said earlier, I've been wanting to do music production for a while. I've been dabbling in it for the better part of a decade, but I just haven't had time to fully dedicate myself to it. And it's something I really want to experiment with and try out. What else? Like I want to play soccer. I haven't played soccer in a while. I used to play soccer when I was little. But I think the biggest reason, despite all of those being solid reasons to quit the game, I think the biggest reason why I've quit is because of my mental health. I'll get more into that later on in another section. But I struggled a lot with like self-worth and stuff because of the game. Or not because of the game. It was a struggle I've had for a while, like before the game. Actually, it was because of things outside of the game. And I kind of used the game as like a way to cope with my low self-worth, I guess. Because I became like a really good player. People became fans of me and stuff. And I thought that was what I needed, but it actually kind of hurt me as well in a way. Last but not least, I no longer really enjoy the game that much. I used to love training every single day for hours. I've been doing it ever since I started playing the game. One of the first things I did in Rocket League was hop into free play, hop into custom training, and just work on my mechanics. Yeah, towards the end of my journey, I started to like really hate it. I found it really boring, really repetitive and annoying. And every time I messed something up, I would just get really upset to the point of like almost like tears. Like I hated it. Like it was not good. I love training more than I mean, I like playing the game as well, like like matches, but I found matches repetitive as well. Like high level twos, I mean, it's the same thing over and over. It's someone goes in the air with the ball, the two opponents, like someone forces, like someone challenges in the air, and the ball gets past them, or the ball doesn't, and then the other guy cleans it up, and then that's it. Like that's just how it is. That's how it goes. One important thing I should note here is that I didn't quit because I thought I couldn't go pro. I thought I for sure could have gone pro if I spent more time playing. All right, let's talk about why I can't or shouldn't go pro. Again, like playing the game a lot is a big time commitment. I'm in college now. Can't really be spending 5+ hours on the game every single day, which is what I was doing until I quit. I mean, being pro is even more of a time commitment. I would need to be playing more. Being on the game for like 3 hours straight. That's not that long. I meant like 3 hours scrimming straight, doing replay reviews, playing ranked, training. There's so many things to do. And it's just not worth it for where I'm at. Like maybe I could have been taking less classes every year in college, but it's just not worth it. Like maybe I get paid a little bit from going pro. It's just not smart to put my academics on hold for something that won't benefit me much anyways, you know? Because being pro is rough. If you get kicked from a team, you just don't have income for a while until you get signed. If you get signed again, it's pretty uncertain all the time whether or not you'll have a chance to come back or make money. I don't know. You know what I mean? I think I could totally get pro tryouts. I could have gotten pro tryouts if I kept playing, but being pro itself is the obstacle here. Like I just don't have the time for it. What made it more difficult for me to go pro is I just didn't have connections. In Rocket League, connections are pretty important. I'm not going to say you need connections to go pro. Like, yeah, if you rise to the top of the twos leaderboard and sit there for a while, people will look at you and give you tryouts. But I mean, I was hitting like top 25. And at that point, I feel like maybe I do deserve some tryouts from like top 16, top 20 teams, you know? Like maybe they could give me a shot. But if I had connections, maybe I could find my way into those tryouts. But I just didn't have tryouts. I mean, connections. Not only that, some people didn't really want to touch me with a 10-foot pole because I'm just weird in Rocket League. I obviously used a Sentio, and not only that, my car is like really flashy. Just that visual like dissonance between myself and others, it kind of made people not even want to really consider me as an option, I think. But more than that, I think I also have a reputation of not being good at threes, partly because I'm really good at ones and I just haven't had good results in RLCS. I also haven't been that good in six-mans when I was playing, so I guess there's that. All right, here's why I did not go pro. 4 big reasons. Okay, I have no connections here as one of the bullet points. Okay, 3 big reasons I haven't talked about. The first one is I started out playing ones a lot. When I started playing the game in 2017, I, for some reason, really liked ones. I think it's because I had more time on the ball. I just had fun hitting the ball. So it makes sense that I liked ones. Also, I found as I rose through the ranks in both ones and twos, that sometimes I had like weird like plans, I guess. Like I would plan out situations in ways that most people wouldn't really like see coming, I guess. And I felt like in twos, it was more difficult to be smart in that kind of way because there's, you have a teammate and they might not be on the same page as you all the time. I mean, nowadays, like at a really high level, you don't really hear that very often. All those high level players have seen pretty much everything you could possibly do. So everyone's ready for it. But when I was starting to play and I was making my way through like plat, diamond, champ, that's how I felt. Like sometimes people, like you could outsmart people pretty easily, but like your teammates wouldn't be on the same page sometimes. So I liked ones more for that reason. Like there was no one that I would have to rely on to understand what was happening, what I was trying to do. I mean, I would just be able to like do whatever I wanted, honestly. It didn't really help that when I hit champ 3 in ones, I was already on the top 100 for PS4 players. That really made me happy, seeing my name on the leaderboard. So of course I played more ones because like twos, I was nowhere near the leaderboards on twos, but I was there in ones. So it was something to be proud of, and it made me play ones a lot more. Yeah, I stuck with it until I hit like number 1 in ones, I think. But then I started to really focus on twos a lot more. The second bullet point I have here is I didn't play enough per day in my early years. So I don't think this is as big of an issue, but when I first got the game and I was playing, I think for that first year that I was playing, I played only like 2 hours a day, maybe less, which like that's a decent amount of time for a beginner, but if I wanted to get really, really good quickly, I, of course, would have needed to spend a lot more time playing. The reason why I think this is important is because I started playing when I was 11. When you're that young, your neuroplasticity, your ability to learn things and like make connections between neurons is like you have a lot more of that ability compared to when you get a little older, like 15, 16, 17. Like you still have a lot of neuroplasticity at that age, but you have a lot more when you're younger. So I think if I spent more time playing per day when I was really young, not only would I would have made more progress, but I think the change would have been drastic because not only am I making really quick progress because I'm young and I'm learning quickly, but I'm also at a high level earlier, which means like I'm still young, so I can learn even more at that high level. You know what I mean? And my third issue is I won't even say this is that big of an issue. It was beneficial to me in some ways, but detrimental in others. I had undiagnosed ADHD until I was like 19. I think it was 18. Something that people don't know about ADHD is that it doesn't mean that you can't focus on anything. It means that you can't manage your focus that well. So if I have something I really like, such as Rocket League, I can focus really deeply on it for hours and hours and hours. And that part of it is really good. I feel like that helped me a lot. But there are some ways in which it hurt me. Like sometimes I would be bored playing Rocket League and I would make really impulsive decisions that would become mistakes. And I think I just wasn't as interested in the game sense part of Rocket League for a while. And that led to me just kind of making a lot of weird decisions in threes and twos and ones. I couldn't be asked to focus more on that kind of stuff. But I loved training, as I said. All in all, I think ADHD, it's hard to see it as something negative. I think it was neutral. It helped and it hurt. But anyways, I think that wraps it up for this section. How Rocket League has impacted me throughout my career, positively and negatively. I have no notes on this. I'm just going to wing it. Rocket League has helped me. Rocket League has had some positive impacts on my life. So, like, I'm short, right? I'm like 5'6", and I was really skinny when I was younger. I never really had a commanding presence in any room. So, I think along with the fact that I'm neurodivergent, I just didn't really know how to socialize that well, like especially in group conversations. And it also felt like no one really listened to me that much, except for my friends. I always felt like weaker than everyone, and it kind of translated to my self-worth. I didn't know it at the time, but like it was something subconscious. When I turned 11 and I got the game, I mean I loved the game, of course. I didn't like gain confidence or self-worth through the game for a while. But once I saw that I was becoming really good and that my effort was, leading me to the top 100 and all these like tournament wins and stuff like that, I realized that I actually am like worth something. Like I'm capable of doing some really cool stuff, whether it's in Rocket League or something else. All that matters is that I put in effort and time. That's a good thing that has come from Rocket League for me, but that's also something bad as well because I started to like my self-worth was now connected to my achievements. And if I was not achieving things, I felt like I wasn't worth much. This was really evident when I was playing in Salt Mine 3. It was just after I hit number 1 in the world on the leaderboards, and I played really terribly. I got like 12th out of I don't know how many people played in the main event in North America. But that's like really bad for my standards in that time period. And I don't think I don't think I was depressed after that, but I felt really, really, really bad. I think that's the worst I've ever felt about myself up until that moment. It just sucked because it felt like if I didn't have all these achievements in Rocket League, then what did I have? When I would turn off the monitor, I was just a short little scrawny kid. It's true that I was doing pretty well academically throughout all my time in elementary school, middle school, high school, but it felt hard to be confident in myself and feel like I was worth what I am worth because again, I felt really awkward in socialization. I felt really different from everyone, and again, like I just felt really weak. So, yeah. But something good that Rocket League has brought me is the chance to fly around and do cool stuff. Like I went to Michigan for my first tournament. It was the Turf Wars LAN. I was 16. It was a lot of fun until I got reverse swept by Raze Bull and I started crying. That sucks. But I mean, it was fun, dude. It was awesome to see these people that I didn't like look up to them necessarily, but like I've been hearing about these people. I've been playing against them online. It was awesome. After that, I've been to a few collegiate lands. Let me see. I think I went to Sacramento. I played in San Diego at one of the Dream Hacks for, I think it was like a bring your own computer LAN. That was separate from collegiate. I also went to a Dream Hack in Atlanta. That was collegiate. I threw. That sucked. I also went to a lot of, not a lot of, I'll say a few RLCS majors. It's been pretty fun meeting people that I've known online. And like I've met a lot of friends online through Rocket League, just in general. Yeah, I don't know what my life would look like without Rocket League. But I mean, like I'm glad I met these friends through this game. Something else that's positive that this game has given me is the chance to give my all to something. It's been really, really fulfilling to put in as much effort as I have throughout my entire career. It's been really fun working on something every single day. I think that's the type of person that I am. I just really want something to work on. For as long as I'm alive, I just want to be working on my craft, whatever it is. It might change over time, but it's kind of what pushes me to get out of bed and stuff like that. It's given me a sense of purpose in a world where I felt like I didn't really have any. But Rocket League is not really a good purpose. So it was bound to end eventually, which is fine. I mean, Rocket League has helped me, like I said, psychologically in a time when I needed it. Now that I'm more self-aware and able to think about experiences I've had in the past and how they've affected me, I no longer need it for that reason. And yeah, like I still have fun competing, but not as much because I'm no longer as good at the game. Another way that Rocket League has impacted me negatively is, I mean, I think I mentioned this, that sometimes when I'd be playing pretty poorly for a while, I would feel a lessened sense of self-worth. That's a really big thing. It was like my mood was almost completely dictated by Rocket League. I remember in high school, it wasn't as bad as it was in college, but maybe I'd have like a really good day at school, like talk to a lot of friends, have a lot of fun. And then I'd come home to Rocket League, I'd play poorly. And it felt like the whole day was ruined. Like I just had a terrible day, but it was just, I didn't play well in car soccer. So it had a really big hold on my mental health. Not as much in high school, but definitely in college because I knew I was missing out on a ton of stuff by playing Rocket League in my dorm all day. And every setback felt really, really, really bad because of that, you know, like I could be spending time outside making friends, having fun, furthering my studies, but instead I'm just sitting here losing. I'll talk more about the specifics of that in the next section. I'm pretty much done with this section. All right, now I'm going to get into my feelings throughout my entire career. This is something I didn't really say I was going to talk about, but I have it in my notes, so whatever. The first year I was playing, 2017 to 2018, I had a lot of fun. Nothing to talk about. Actually, there is something to talk about. So I'm pretty emotional. I cry kind of easily. And I remember, I think a month or two after I started playing, I was just getting really frustrated at the little AIs that Psyonix has that you can play against in exhibition mode. I wanted to like 1v3 or 1v4 them. I was getting so close to beating them, but I just couldn't. Like every time I just fell short barely. And I was 11 years old and sensitive, so I just started crying. Like I was so frustrated. I let the tears flow, and it'll be a common theme, I guess, as I talk about my thoughts and feelings throughout my entire career. Like sometimes I cry. I think more than most. But anyways, yeah, from 2018 to 2019, I was ramping up my effort to try to go and hit Grand Champ. I was still on PS4, so I had no like concrete ambitions to go pro or anything. I just knew I wanted to be as good as I could be. I think when I hit Diamond 3, I was heart stuck and I cried again. I quit for like a week. I hit GC, that was great. 2019 to 2020, I think I hit top 100 May 15th, 2020. And then I switched to PC the month after. And I had my first like actual tournament in 2021, I believe. It was organized by Fear. It was called Next Gen. It consisted of 6 players, 6 ones players who were under the age of 15 because 15 back then was the age you needed to be to play in RLCS. The Next Gen was supposed to be like a showcase of the upcoming RLCS talent that could be, you know, competing soon. I felt like really stressed during this tournament. Like I was only 14 years old. Well, I say only, but like everyone else was my age. But this was the first time I had any sort of spotlight put on me. Like Fear was streaming it, and that was enough to make me really, really nervous. And I was really worried about how people would perceive me if I lost, or like what if I made a big mistake? Would everyone laugh at me? I didn't really understand exactly how people would treat me. on the internet because for some reason I was already on Twitter. I guess. I don't know why. Yeah, I was super nervous, super stressed out, and that's something that I wish I didn't have to go through at that age. But I got used to it as I grew to 15, 16, 17. I was able to cope with it a lot better, and I was a little bit less nervous about how people would treat me. When I was 16, oh, when I qualified for Turf Wars, it was actually kind of funny because I think I got invited to the qualifier. It was this double elimination bracket. I remember I got invited a week before the qualifier, and I just felt incredibly nervous for that entire week. Like it was actually bad. Like my heart was like almost racing for like the entire week. It was hard to go to sleep. It was hard to focus in class. And like that's the most nervous I've ever been about something that isn't even close to happening yet. You know, I somehow made it through the qualifier and it was awesome. I mean, my parents didn't really support me a whole ton at the beginning. They really wanted to keep me from playing the game for an extended amount of time every day. And you can't really blame them. Yeah, if I was them, I would definitely do the same. I wouldn't want my kids spending their entire day in front of a screen. As they saw that I was actually making a little bit of money from this and I was improving, they thought, you know, maybe it's good that he's playing. He's putting a lot of effort into this. He's trying really hard and he's making some money. So why don't we just let him? And they started to support me. And when I made the LAN, they were really happy. And I don't know, I felt like a big underdog at the Turf Wars LAN. Everyone else was pro. I was just sitting there on my own. Like I was 16 years old. Had nothing to my name, no titles, no accomplishments. I was just some random person. And I did pretty good. Then I got overswept, which sucked. I was crying like I mentioned earlier. And yeah, my older brother Miguel was there. He was like, you know, he was consoling me. He was trying to help me cheer up, which I appreciate. And throughout my career from the age of 16 to where I am now, 20, I never really made too much progress in ones. I was always like more or less top 8 in North America, but I just could not beat anyone who was above me. Like I could never beat First Killer, Lion Blaze, like Daniel, Beast Mode. Who else? Like AJ, I couldn't beat until he retired. I couldn't beat. There's other people. Like people in the top 8, top 6 kind of switched in and out. Like Lion Blaze stopped playing that much. He got replaced by I don't know, like Cosmic or Wavy. Diaz came in and kicked someone out. I don't remember who. Like Mile used to be really, really good. He kind of dropped off. And maybe Chronic took his place. I don't know, dude. People would switch out every now and then. I was always trying to like hang on to the top 8. And I did. Like I was better than pretty much everyone else. But it was just these top players who I just could never beat. I was kind of the worst of the best. But like at least I was part of the best, you know? Like I would always be invited to these big tournaments. I'd always maybe give some of these people a run for their money, but again, like I just wouldn't beat them. I think the one time I beat anyone better than me was, I don't know, I think like Wavy in like it wasn't even a big tournament. It was a weekly thing Johnny Boy was running for a bit, 2025, I believe. And I beat Wavy and then I lost to First Killer next round. So that was cool, I guess. But I found that really, really frustrating. I would put all my effort into ones. I remember for Salt Mine 3, I trained ones for like 3 months straight. And I didn't do well, like I mentioned earlier, I think. I felt really, really, really bad. I tried to quit the game. I think I stopped playing for 2 weeks. I was having withdrawals, you know. I was basically addicted to the game. I came back and started playing again. But enough about ones for that time period. In threes, in 2020, I played on a team with Wiz. You might know of him. And a guy named I'm Ready. He unfortunately got like arthritis and had to quit or something. But yeah, our team was terrible. we were on the same page on a lot of things. We had fun, but we just weren't that good. Then I made some runs with a team called Iced Up, which consisted of Voltero and Impo. I had a lot of fun with them. We played pretty well. I think I got top 28 in LCS with them, which was my best placement. That was in, I believe, October of 2022, which was right after I attended the Turf Wars LAN. And then they kicked me 2 months later. That's because they felt like I just wasn't a good fit, that I had a weird play style. And it makes sense. But everyone else thought that I got kicked, that I didn't get kicked, that I actually left because I deserved a better team or something. But it was kind of the opposite. I was the weak link on that team. Kind of funny. People thought I was really good just because I went to a ones LAN. But that's how it was for the early days of Rocket League. If you were really good at ones, you often got like pro tryouts and stuff like that because mechanics were really, really important back then. But now that people are improving in game sense, it's a lot easier to shut someone down who only uses their mechanics. Yeah, it's not as important anymore. I kind of missed out on that period of Rocket League pretty narrowly. Like I was, if that happened like a year or two before, maybe I would have been on a pro team. Yeah, then I joined a team called Noxum with Fatal and Mutinate, I think in 2023. Again, I felt like I was the weak link. Like maybe I was pretty decent compared to them at times, but I felt like on average I was usually the one holding us back. But anyways, I met my coach there and friend Zector. Yeah, he taught me a lot of things. He gave me a really, really good fundamental understanding of the game and how it should be played. And I feel like that helped me a lot in threes and made me a better player, but didn't really translate to my results. I never really got higher than top 28. I did get top 28 with Noxum, but the team fell apart a little, I think a little bit into 2023. You know, I thought I was going to get kicked and I was really, really, really stressed out. I'm like, oh my God, they're going to kick me after this tournament. Oh my goodness. And then Mutinate was like, hey, I'm leaving. And Fatal's like, oh, I'm not going to really play much anymore. And I'm like, oh. So I didn't get kicked. I was just kind of, everyone left. But Zector kept coaching me like in ones and threes. And again, I think I made a lot of improvements in ones, but again, it did not translate into my results for some reason. Like I felt a lot more intelligent and I felt like I played everything better. It's just I still couldn't beat these people at the top. And that continued into 2024 and 2025. I didn't really have a good threes team since Noxum. I wasn't able to find a good group of players who were really dedicated and meshed well together. And yeah, I mean, Zector is one of the best coaches the best coach I've had the privilege of working with. And I think he's one of the best in North America without a doubt. So every time I'd come into this new team, it'd be like, hey, we have a coach. And then it's like some guy who doesn't know what he's talking about. So like, I just don't want to be there. So in that way, learning from Zector was kind of a curse, but of course it was a benefit as well. A blessing. I forgot to mention that starting in 2024, when I started college, I started to feel like I didn't have what it takes to go pro. I felt like I was just not going to cut it in threes anymore. Or not anymore. I just mean I was never going to be good in threes. I was doing pretty poorly in six mans. I couldn't get out of B plus for those of you who know what that is. And I was thinking, you know what? I probably want to quit the game soon. And I found out that Psyonix was hosting their first RLCS 1v1 tournament in June of 2025. And I thought, you know what? I'm just going to grind ones. This was in January. I'm like, I'm going to grind ones for 6 months straight. And I can't go pro. I've decided that there's no way I can make it. So I'm just going to put all my time into ones, do well, hopefully. And then if I somehow win the whole thing and go to the major, then I continue playing. If I don't, I quit. Zector was on board with that. He actually wanted me to quit because he saw I was in college and I had a lot of things I could have done that were more worth my time than Rocket League. So he's like, dude, you should just quit. just quit right now. And I'm like, no, dude, I want to play in the tournament. I want to play in the ones tournament. Come on. This is what I'm known. This is like what I was born to do. And he kept trying to get me to quit, but he also respected my decision and he helped me a lot in analyzing replays and stuff like that. Okay, just to be accurate chronologically, in May, I met this really good friend. I won't talk about them in much detail, but they are important for this section of the video. I became really, really good friends with them from that time, from like May to June. I then played in RLCS. Like always, I fell short because I kept losing to these really good players. It was annoying. I lost to Evo and then Chronic and I got knocked out in the main event, which was great because, not great, but like I was really happy to even be in RLCS. I mean, that was the first time I've ever made RLCS. Afterwards, I just started crying, like tears of joy. I just felt really happy. Even though I lost, it was still a really big win. I was showing on the RLCS stream. I had some cool clips. I showed the world that it doesn't really matter what card you use as long as you master it, as long as you're used to it, you know? You can reach your full potential no matter what card you use. That started to be my mission in the later stages of my career. I kind of built this identity around having a weird car and just being a misfit. So I wanted to show people, you know, like it's okay to be different. But I never got far enough to communicate that to anyone on like an RLCS stream or anything. I never got interviewed because I never won a game on stream. Yeah, so anyways, I really cried a lot after RLCS. I was really happy and proud of myself. I went to Ascension Protocol. I did really, really good there, better than I expected, slightly. And that gave me a bit of confidence that I was lacking. Like I said, I never really felt like I was going to be able to go pro. A LAN that I went into thinking is my last lane, I'm gonna quit after this, became a fountain of determination. It was like, yo, I just beat Stizzy, I beat Moxie 2-0, took 2 games off Diaz. Maybe I am like maybe I have what it takes, you know. This was a really, really good performance. And it did give me a lot of confidence. And throughout this whole time I was talking to my friend a lot. And I went back to school. I was still grinding the game like always, but now with more intention and more determination because I felt like I could actually go pro. And from August to October, I was spending a lot of time with this friend. And then in October, we kind of separated, which sucked because I had 2 things I was looking forward to every day, working on Rocket League and hanging out with my friend. Despite my newfound confidence and ambition in going pro, I didn't really like the game that much. I liked winning. I did not like losing. So honestly, I preferred spending time with my friend, but I knew I couldn't spend all my time with my friend. But now that we were separated, all I had was Rocket League in my life. I mean, of course, I was in school studying, but I didn't really want to study. I was studying because I had to. So every day after class, I would go home to my dorm. I would play 5 hours a day. I would eat and then go to sleep. Actually, no, I would do homework and then I'd go to sleep. But my entire day was just devoid of any social interaction for the most part, from October all the way to December. It really sucked. And yeah, from October to January, I mean, that was probably like the worst period of my life. I focused completely on improving in Rocket League. I played 5, maybe 6 hours a day. I was taking replay reviews really seriously. I was trying to optimize every single part of my day so that I'd have more time to play the game. That was also true for my first year of college. This is my second now. But I took it like one step further. I would make schedules in Google Sheets to organize my time to make sure I was using just enough time to study, do homework, eat food, take showers, pretty much everything so that I would have as much time as possible to play Rocket League. I even started to do a little bit of research on neurochemical stuff. Like, I'm not trying to sound smart, but it's like, especially when you have ADHD, it's important to have a low baseline of dopamine. So dopamine, what it does is it's a neurochemical in your brain. And when your dopamine receptors receive a lot of dopamine, you feel really motivated and interested in doing something, whether that's like watching, I don't know, YouTube or playing soccer or whatever. Dopamine is what pulls you into whatever you're doing and makes you focused, more or less. I think that's a simple way to put it. And if you do stuff like taking cold showers, they lower like your baseline level of dopamine, which is like the level of dopamine you're always at. And that's important because any little spike of dopamine is now more effective in pulling you into something and helping you focus on something. And as someone with ADHD, that's really important because ADHD is a deficiency of dopamine in a way, or it's, I don't know, but it's a problem with dopamine in some ways. So I started to think, okay, I need to take cold showers. I need to do things I don't want to do. I need to, like, I bought like a sunset lamp. One of these things. Hello. They emit light, hence why they're called lamps, I guess. I bought one kind of because it's pretty bright and you can change the color of the light it emits. And then I saw like one day, you know, it's good to wear like red light glasses before going to sleep because it puts your brain in this like sleepy mode kind of, because getting light from longer wavelengths into your eyes tells the brain it's time to go to sleep. So instead of getting glasses, I just turned on my sunset lamp with red light. And I made sure to do that every single night. Made sure to sleep with my room pretty cold so that I'd get really optimal sleep. I was going to the gym, like partly to like get stronger, which helped with my self-confidence. But it was mostly because physical activity improves your cognitive performance, which I needed for Rocket League. I did a lot of things for Rocket League. My entire life started to revolve around it. And I was making progress because I was spending more time on the game and less with my friend because my friend was no longer in my life. Like still, like I started to feel worse and worse because I would have these small hiccups here and there, like, oh, I forgot to get something from the store. Now I have to go back, and like that wastes time, you know? Like I wasn't efficient with my time because I forgot something at the store. I'm a terrible person. Like I'm an idiot. Why did I forget? Or like, oh my God, I spent 10 minutes doom scrolling on my bed instead of taking a shower. I'm such an idiot. Like, do I even want to go pro if I'm wasting my time? Or like, oh my God, I spent 40 minutes eating instead of like 20. Like I'm a terrible person. Like I clearly don't have what it takes to make it. And I just started like self-loathing. Like I hated myself for all these little mistakes I would make. Not even mistakes. It's just like as a human being, you can't be perfect. You can't be a robot who does things the same way every single day. Like sometimes you just need a little break. And sometimes those breaks come as like spending a little more time on your phone, relaxing, or just taking a little bit longer to eat your food. And that's something I didn't really understand. So I started to feel like I was like a disgrace to everyone who supported me. I started to get really angry at myself, even though I was still improving in Rocket League. I eventually hit top 50 and then top 25 in January. Yeah, it was really, really upsetting. I think in December, when I went back home for winter break, these feelings kind of got magnified because honestly, at home here, there's not much to do. I still don't have my driver's license. That's a long story. And I guess like I don't know, all I had was Rocket League. I mean, I was at home all day. I had my PC. Like, what else was I gonna do? I was playing really, really, really bad for a while, for like a week or so, for like I think like 2 weeks. I mean, coming into winter break, I think I already like was depressed. I think I had depression. Like I mentioned, I felt really, really poorly about myself. I felt kind of like worthless. Um, and I just didn't really want to. It wasn't. I did not want to die. By the way, like it's like it wasn't that bad. It was like moderate at the worst. But I found something interesting that I've never experienced before, and it was that I mean I started waking up late and I started napping a lot because I just didn't want to experience reality. I just wanted to like daydream in my bed or just have dreams because it was more fun to think about things that weren't real than to be in reality where things suck, you know? And I would try to think about my my life like logically, you know, like I was really, really, really blah, 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 really good at Rocket League and I was doing pretty good in my studies in physics. Like surely that must mean I have value as a person, but like it felt weird at the same time because I completely rejected that. I said, "No, I'm not worth anything because I could be accomplishing so much more in Rocket League, but I'm not. And I could be doing so much better in my studies, but I'm not. I'm in this in between zone where I'm not doing as good as I could in either one. And that's because I'm doing both at the same time. But I didn't care. Like I still saw myself as a failure. I started to feel like really lethargic walking around the house, going up the stairs. It was really tough. Like I knew my body had energy, but I just couldn't use it. It was really weird. I started to not even want to play the game. I mean, that was how I felt about it for a few months now, but a few months. It was my desire to play the game varied for years, but in this time period from like November to December and January, I I wanted to just nap instead of play the game. I didn't want to play. Like it was the last thing I wanted to do, but that's kind of what I had to do. I felt what didn't help was in this moment, I also felt really, really guilty because I felt like I was fully responsible for the conflict, not conflict, but my friend and I had a situation in October. I said we separated. I felt fully responsible for what happened and I felt super guilty because they did not deserve what happened. There's some other things I did that I feel like I shouldn't have done. So I felt not only like I wasn't worth anything, but I also felt really guilty and I just had no motivation to do anything. Felt really tired. But eventually, at the turn of the new year, I'm like, you know what? I got this. This is a new year, a new, like, just, I don't know, just a new year to accomplish things. And I think as long as I start out with some motivation for this first week or so, I can get through this rut. I've always had to get through tough times like these throughout my career. I've always had to get through moments of a lack of motivation, of like sadness, of feeling like I'm not worth that much. It's just another one of those moments. I just need to get through it. And the difference here was this wasn't just a moment of like weakness. It was I was like suffering. Like that was the first time I experienced depression. I think I did. I mean, I feel like it checks all the boxes. I did some tests online. I mean, I don't know if you can trust those very much. I know depression looks different for everyone. Yeah, it seemed like I was going through it, and it wasn't just one of those moments of, oh, I don't feel motivated. I don't want to play the game. I just need discipline. No, it was much deeper than that. But I treated it like I just needed discipline, you know? And it was enough to get me through that first week. And that first week was, I think, the best I've ever played. I put my all into it. I hit number 21 in twos. I was slicing and dicing pros left and right. And I was doing really, really good. And I thought, like maybe I can do it. Maybe I can go pro. This is looking great. And I noticed I had a lot more energy. I didn't feel lethargic anymore. I felt excited to get up every day. And then I felt like I was worth something. And then one day I was climbing up the stairs with energy and I'm like, oh shoot. Rocket League literally put me in a depressive state because I was playing bad. Like that's how much of a hold the game had on me. And then I started to play bad a few days later. Then again, I felt like really, really bad on the inside. And like it was terrible. Like I didn't know Rocket League could do that to me. Like maybe like I don't think Rocket League itself put me in that depressive state, but it's what brought me out of it momentarily. It was like those wins like made me so happy. But if I'm not winning or losing, then I'm like by default in that time period, I just felt really depressed, I guess. Not really depressed. Like I don't think it was that bad. In the grand scheme of things, it could have been a lot worse. I understand that. But I thought like, wow, that's not good. Like, and yeah, I think let me see. I think it was July what? No, January 17th? No, 13th. Let me scroll up in my DMs with my coach. I was like, dude, you haven't coached me in a while. Can we just get this going again like every week? Because I feel like I can actually go pro. Like I just hit number 21. I'm doing really good mechanically and game sense wise. I feel like I have a grasp on the things you've taught me. I feel like I can make it. I feel like I can go pro. Like for real this time. And I tried to like text him and be like, dude, I'm so motivated and everything. And we had a call and he was like, dude, do not I really, really want you to quit because there's just so much more to life. I mean, I'm not gonna get into it, but he was saying like, I'm in college for physics. Like if I put my effort into physics, I'm gonna be set for life. As opposed to if I play Rocket League a little bit, it's gonna have to end eventually. And I might not be on as good of a path in physics as I would be if I put my time into physics, because I'm splitting my effort into two places, physics and Rocket League. So clearly I could be doing better in one or the other if I just quit the other. But obviously physics is the way to go. So like that's something he's been telling me this whole time for like 2 years. He finally like just gave it his all, bro. He was calling me for a while. We called for an hour. Yeah, this was on the 13th. And I don't know exactly what it was, but that day, like after that call, something shifted in my head. I still wanted to grind and play the game and go pro, but finally it felt like I shouldn't. And then I sat with that feeling for a bit longer. Like I kind of took a step back and I looked at the big picture here. Of course I saw like physics and whatever, but I saw that like I'm putting myself through a lot just for a video game. And like I'm saying like just for a video game, but obviously to me like it's more than a video game. But once I took the perspective that this is just a video game and that there's much more fulfilling things I can do elsewhere, whether it's studying physics to get a good job later on or like making friends and hanging out with them, etc. I realized that I actually don't want to play Rocket League. I realized that I loved playing Rocket League not because of the game itself, but because of the way it made me feel. Of course, I loved the game before, but now what Rocket League is to me is almost like a way for me to feel like I'm worth something. Like I said before, I subconsciously felt like I didn't have much value. Like I felt like weak, short, felt like no one really paid attention to me. I feel like I was very different from everyone. And like these feelings stayed inside me, like hidden. And I forgot they were there until this moment. And I realized in Rocket League, I am not only a great player, but I'm also different in a lot of ways. And in this place, difference is good because people notice me more, and like people support me because I'm different, and I have more eyes on me because I'm just doing different things. I'm using a weird car. I popularized a mechanic that makes me unique among players. I am good at ones instead of threes, that makes me unique. In ones, I'm on my own. I'm the only person on my team. You're only looking at me. So it's like through Rocket League, I was gaining a lot of attention and a lot of praise from a lot of people. And that's something that I was really clinging on to. But then I realized that like I kind of used it as a substitute for not feeling like I had any value in real life. Like people valued me in game on the internet, but not in real life. That's how I felt. So I realized that, you know what, dude, I kind of used this as a crutch. Once I realized that, I no longer really wanted to play that much. Actually, my lack of desire for the game came separately from that. I also just didn't want to play anymore when I realized that like I don't have to, and that in fact it's actually better if I don't play. I felt like I just don't want to be in this state of like sadness, and like I wanted to wake up every day excited to do something, and that's just not what I felt anymore. Like excited to have new experiences as well, you know, make friends, try new hobbies, stuff like that. And I saw that there's definitely more to life than Rocket League. I always knew that, but for the first time, I actually felt it. Yeah, after I made that realization, I no longer felt the desire to play, like ever. Like it's incredibly rare that I sit here and think I want to play Rocket League. I don't think that. I never think that. I've maybe I felt that desire only when my friends asked me to play with them, but I never feel that on my own. Not even when I was training to play in RLCS ones this year again. Like I had to play for a few weeks to get my skill back, but I didn't want to do that. I think towards the end of my training, I was only playing like 2 hours a day or maybe three. I think sometimes I would just skip days because I just didn't want to be there. It was weird. It's not like I chose to quit the game. It's just that it was inevitable. It was like I didn't have a choice. I guess like my psychological state made the decision for me at first as I realized these things. And then I don't know, but it was never like I decided to quit. Everything just kind of happened on its own. I needed to form a new identity because Rocket League was how I found self worth. That's how I measured my self worth. My entire identity up until that moment was I am a Rocket League player. This is what I do every day. I am one of the best at ones. I was number one in the world. I popularized a mechanic. I never felt good about myself because of anything other than Rocket League. I never felt like, wow, I'm a good student. Like, no, it's just I'm a good Rocket League player and I did well on this exam. That's good. I don't think I'm explaining it right, but that was my identity. I was a Rocket League player in my head. That's who I was. I got more attached to my username than my real name, even though I didn't even like the name. Like Azopatos is a weird name. It's not really a good name. This is actually a good segue into my next section, feelings after quitting the game. Like I explained just now, I had an identity crisis. Kind of gauged my self-worth by my achievements in this game. Once my source of self-worth was gone, like what would I do to feel like I had value, you know? That was a question that I need to ask myself. And there's a few different ways I answered that question. I started to realize that everyone has fundamental value. Just because you're not one of the best at something doesn't mean that you don't have value. You know, I also found not value, but fulfillment from other things. I started to work on music production and I don't know, I started to find fulfillment in going to the gym. I used to go to the gym for a boost of cognitive performance, but now there's no need for that really. So I started to go for fun, or not for fun, but for fulfillment. Like I felt good going to the gym. And like my actual feelings after quitting in regards to Rocket League were that I felt kind of sad at first and reminiscent of like my times playing the game. When I finally made the decision to quit for good on January 17th, I just started sobbing. Like it felt like a part of me died, which makes sense because of what I said about the identity crisis. It felt like I was a new person because imagine, I mean, this is the only thing I really cared about that much. And now it's gone. It felt like every single day was leading up to this moment of like it felt like I was building on this career of mine every single day. It felt like every single day I played, it was leading to something. I felt like every day was like the next chapter of my career, and that eventually I would go pro. And then out of nowhere, within 2 weeks of me being the best I've ever been, it just gets cut off. It's like if you're reading a book and you find that the last like half of the book is like all the pages were torn off. Like it's like what happened, you know? But instead of a book, it's my life. Like it felt It felt really, really deep and serious. So there were times when I felt sad and reminiscent, but there were also times when I felt kind of glad that I was done. Like I felt like I could finally relax and enjoy myself. And I still battle with alternating between these feelings. Sometimes I'm glad I'm not super stressed anymore every single day, doing this stupid rat race of trying to go pro, trying to climb the leaderboards and get chosen. But I also really miss having something to work on every single day that I've been working on for a while. Like I said, I'm working on music, but it just doesn't feel the same because it's not like I've been building on much. It's just I just started. I haven't really been working towards much. It's just I'm learning the basics, the very basics. Whereas with Rocket League, it was like I can feel a sense of pride for everything I've accomplished because it's taken a lot of effort, but that's kind of gone now. Yeah, but lately I've been doing better. I mean, even though I played in RLCS ones this year, I've been able to detach myself from that sort of like part of my identity really easily. You know, for those 2 or 3 weeks, I was Izapatos, but once I finished, I'm myself again. You know, like it was super easy to come back. And something interesting is that even my music taste changed. Rocket League introduced me to EDM when I was really young, and I really got into it. I started to listen to this, I guess, like niche subgenre of dubstep that's called color bass. It combines the heaviness of dubstep with cool little like melodies and stuff, like in ways that other genres don't, I guess. In my head, that genre became synonymous with Rocket League. It was by far my favorite genre to listen to. And now that I've quit, that genre reminds me of grinding Rocket League. So I just can't really listen to it anymore, which sucks. But it's fine because there's no use for that music to me anymore because it kind of gave me like it hyped me up for playing the game. But I don't really need the hype anymore. I'm not like trying to be the best in the world at anything. I'm just kind of living, you know, I'm just kind of here. My music taste has changed a lot. The music I listen to is more chill, more like slightly more mainstream because it's not like I'm not looking to be feeling this really specific feeling that you can get only from that. Also, I'll talk about something else. Something kind of silly, I guess. Maybe you've heard of Alyssa Liu. She's an Olympic gold medalist in figure skating. She won the gold medal in February of this year. And her story is actually really inspirational. I feel like her journey and mine share a lot of parallels, except everything was a lot more intense for Alyssa. She experienced, I guess, pressure to train and perform, same as me, but like for her, it was like her father was paying tons of money to have her train. She had this whole like training team, like people who would help her, and she spent like all day at the rink, at like every single day. She was being forced to do it, whereas for me, it was like, oh my god, I feel pressure to win because like I want to win. It's not the same. Like it's still pressure. I mean, I feel pressure from like everyone watching as well, everyone judging me, everyone who could give me a pro tryout. You know, I don't think I'm ever coming back. If I do, it's like something's wrong. I could see myself coming back when Rocket League 2 comes out, but I hope I don't. If I do, just for content, please, just for content. I mean, I don't want to leave anyways in that regard. Oh, this is a really long video. Sorry, guys. I just love talking about my career. Not many people listen. Not many people want to know. Anyways, advice for other people trying to go pro. As someone who thinks it's good to not play the game, okay, I'll try to be unbiased here. Like if you actually want to go pro and you think it's worth it, make connections early on. Don't play ones. I mean, you can play ones. Just make sure you are growing in twos. Twos is the way right now. Actually, with the introduction of top 100 titles in all modes, threes might be popping pretty soon. Who knows? People might actually play threes. If that's the case, play threes. Make sure the most formative years of your career aren't spent in ones because that's what screwed me over. I like my brain is so ones coded right now. Well, forever. It's always been. And trying to put threes knowledge on top of it just doesn't work. Like I was good at threes. I wasn't a terrible player. Like I was pretty good, but it's really hard for me to be great because it was like I was trying to stack Legos on top of like you know the brand called like Diplo where they have like Legos but they're like a lot bigger. Like they just don't fit with Legos. That's what I'm trying to say. That's my analogy. I was trying to fit Legos on top of like Diplo bricks. It just wasn't working. If you're trying to go pro, you're probably already pretty good at the game, so that doesn't even apply to you. And you're probably like not 12 years old. Give it your all, as long as it's not to the detriment of your studies. I mean, like if you really really want to go pro and it's completely worth it, even then, I can't really say that you should drop out. In an ideal world, you could drop out and you would be able to focus on Rocket League a lot more. But it's also good to do other things with your time. If you can get through school without spending much time in school and like doing homework, like in high school or whatever, then go for it. I mean, it's not really that deep. Like you're gonna improve pretty similarly if you play 6 hours compared to 7 hours. So like it's not like you're getting diminishing gains. It's good to optimize your day to have as much time as possible to play the game if you're short on time usually. And please give it all your effort. I don't know. Like that's pretty much all I can say. Like you'll find ways to make improvements no matter what, as long as you put in the effort. Like people often think that these pros, maybe even me, that we're like superhuman, that we're just inherently better than you at thinking, at doing things, etc. That's not true. I'm just some random dude. Like I don't know. I would say that maybe my neurodivergence has helped in some ways in terms of learning stuff. But I know there's a lot of pros who are not neurodivergent. So if you turn off our monitors and our PCs, we're just normal people, you know? So there you go. We're just as normal as you. I'm including myself as if I'm pro. I'm not pro. I don't know. I'm as normal as you. All the pros are as normal as you. So just go in there and give it your best shot, I guess. A day off here and there won't kill you. Is that true? That's what I have for my notes. It's true that it won't kill you. It's okay to like take breaks and stuff, but I mean, just what I'm trying to say is like a player that's having fun doing the hard work is always going to surpass the player who forces themselves to do the hard work. If you're actually having fun, you're going to pay more attention to every single detail. If you're forcing yourself to do the hard work, yeah, you might pay attention to all the details, but it's kind of not that sustainable. So if there's one day you just don't want to play the game, fine, like don't play, or maybe play for like an hour or so, you know, just to like not lose your mechanics for the next day. I mean, I lose my mechanics super easily from day to day. Some people don't. Some people don't even feel a difference. They take a break for a day, which is crazy to me. But yeah, like just make sure to have fun with it, because if you have fun, you improve like more quickly. Just make sure you're spending your time wisely and actually thinking. Some people play brainlessly and like they just don't improve and they wonder why. And definitely be realistic in regards to whether or not it's possible to go pro. You don't want to waste all your time and effort trying to go pro and then just like not even get close. And then like realize, hey, I've wasted all this time on trying to go pro when I could have put it into something else that would have been more beneficial to me. Like what if I kept trying to go pro and I just didn't make it? I'd be wasting all my time playing the game instead of studying and lining myself up on like a better path down the road in physics or whatever. So go for it if there's an actual chance. But if you're 15 and you're not even GC, like definitely don't even try. Honestly, you'll thank me. Like it's hard to say like if you're 17 and you're not this level, then like don't even try, because like people improve at different rates in different levels of skill. So I don't know, but like yeah, like be realistic. Draw like a little roadmap and see like is it realistic to improve at this rate to go pro at like age 17 or 18. You should aim for 17. If you're having to aim later than that, then I would say don't even try, because improving at the very highest levels is difficult. It's more difficult than you can tell before you're even there, you know? I thought I'd be able to improve all the way to the very top. I could not. Special thanks. Thank you to my childhood best friend. Well, still my best friend, I guess. Leon. He's the one who introduced me to the game on, let me see what day. I remember it's like the third Thursday of October 2016. Let me see. October 22nd, 15th, somewhere around there. Thank you so much for, I don't even know if I should thank you, because this game kind of sucked. I didn't like it. It's kind of boring. But yeah, thank you for introducing me to the game. I had a lot of amazing experiences through this game. I got to travel. I got to be, I don't know, like I got to put all my time and effort into this, and I felt really fulfilled for a while. And although it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows, overall, I think it was a good experience. So thanks. And thanks for like leaving to play Fortnite a year after we started grinding together, because I think that kind of pushed me to play ones a little bit more. And if I was actually pro, then I would not be I would not be in college right now. But because I played ones more, I did not go pro. So I think it's actually a good thing for my life as a whole that I did not go pro. So thanks for pushing me to play ones. Shout out to the Bronies. You know who you are. Thanks for supporting me. I appreciate it. Hot Zen Monster, my first coach. You saw something in me that I didn't see yet, and you supported me a lot. Like you taught me a lot of things. And like, I'm not going to say you were the best coach, but you did teach me a lot of things that were fundamentally like that helped me. You formed a lot of my fundamental knowledge of the game. And those are things that really helped me as I rose through the ranks. So I appreciate it. And thank you for always supporting me. Voltero, I'd say like out of everyone I've played with, he's like my best friend, I guess. I don't know. Thanks for being cool and teaming with me and being cool. Yeah, it was a joy to play alongside you in 2022. I think that was the most fun I've had on a team, like playing with you and Impo. So yeah, hope you're doing well. Fear is the person who noticed me first in terms of ones. He invited me. Why am I speaking in third and not second place? Second place? Second person. Fear, thank you so much for all the opportunities you've given me. You invited me to Next Gen, and you helped invite me to the Turf Wars LAN qualifier. And that's how I kind of made a name for myself. You always rooted for me. Yeah, you always rooted for me. Yeah. In like all my matches and stuff. You wanted me to succeed. And in a sense, I kind of did, but not like all the way, you know? So again, just thank you for everything. I appreciate your support, and it was cool to meet you and stuff and have conversations at majors. James Bot, thank you so much for everything, dude. You damn it. I didn't think I'd cry. I already felt so detached from this game. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to get emotional. I'm just going to speak. James Bot, thank you so much for everything. You're the reason why I look back on this game and my journey in a positive light. You organized these LANs and you supported me a lot. You know, the time I spent at these LANs were full of a lot of memories that I'll remember forever. Some of the best memories I've ever had. So just thank you for being really cool, and I wish you the best in everything you do. All right, Chronic, Wavy, Atomic, and Kefper. These are pros who were really nice to me. I won't say really nice, but I mean, Kefper was cool. He gave me coaching sessions just cause, you know, when he was on Gen G, and he did that because he just felt generous. So Kefper, thank you so much for believing in me and trying to help me take that next step to towards going pro. It wasn't meant to be, but thank you a lot for trying to help me. Chronic, Wavy, and Atomic, you guys were some of the only pros who were ever nice to me. So you guys never did that much to help me, but like you guys were cool. So I hope you guys find success. Last but not least, Zector, I'm really glad I met you. You've been not only a great coach, but a great friend and mentor, even in things outside of Rocket League, especially outside of Rocket League. And I wouldn't have met you without this game, and I'm really glad that we were able to connect over this game. And I mean, you've just been a really good friend. So thank you. Thank you for helping me throughout my journey. Anyways, yeah, I'm realizing that I'm pretty happy about. I'm glad I got to experience this. So yeah. And of course, special thanks to all of you watching. If you've made it this far, then I really appreciate that you've watched through the whole thing. And I'm assuming you support me. Maybe you're just hate watching. That's fine as well. More ad revenue for me, isn't it? Yeah, thank you for supporting me. Thank you for valuing me not as just a player, but as a person as well. And I hope you feel inspired in some way. Again, I want to keep making videos. I don't know if I can find the motivation to keep playing Rocket League enough for videos. I mean, I'm going to have to play eventually. But I'm going to have to play like regardless of whether I do YouTube or not, because I'm still on the collegiate team here at San Diego State. So I might as well just record. Like it takes 30 minutes to make a video if it's ranked, you know? So I think I'll be recording. Like if I had to bet, I would say I am going to keep making YouTube videos. But I do want to do other things with my time. Check out my second channel. Check out my SoundCloud in the description, and join my Discord server. I'm sure the link is down there somewhere. And yeah, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Please subscribe if you want. Always remember that you are loved, and see you in the next one. Peace.